Welcome back to part 2 of my second video on Bootstrap. In the previous video we have discussed all these topics and not the theme. We discussed till list, group and also forms. In this video we are going to discuss Carousel, Tooltips and using a theme to change style and icons, Bootstrap icons. Okay, let's get started with Carousel. I have already opened the Carousel page, and in my project I have already I'm using a few images into my project to show the carousel. Okay, here how to use how does a carousel looks like. It has slides. It goes from first slide, in a few seconds it goes to the second slide and then to the third slide. It goes like this, and we can also use it with controls, and also we can put indicators on the bottom. There are multiple ways to do this. Okay, let's get started with carousel. Okay, that's how it's gonna be looking like. Okay, here on the top of the page, before everything comes, I'm gonna create div with the class equal to carousel, and the animation will be slide, and it can take id as carousel id. There are few things it's gonna take. Data ride as carousel. Let's specify that too. Ride carousel. Inside this div, we are gonna put our carousel inner div with class carousel inner, and the first item will be in the inner. There is three items, so we are also gonna use 3 images. So it's gonna take div class equal to carousel item. So the first item will be active, so let's specify active class. Inside this div we are gonna specify our image. src equals the first one, and class will be, it is using d block with 100, display as block and with 100, and I'm not gonna specify the alternate name here. I'm gonna copy the same. Okay, let's not copy, we have to give other images, right? So class carousel item and image. Let's take the second image with I'm gonna specify class d block with 100, the third image. Let's change the image here. Image. Okay, this is our basic carousel. Let's see how it looks like in our page. There you go. Let's expand this and see. It's gonna take all the, let's wait some time for it to change to other image. Is it changing? I don't think it's changing, right? Yeah, it's changing. There we go, we got it. That is carousel. And now let's try with the controls. To give these controls, we are gonna add these A tags like previous and next. And to do that, we also have to, I think we need to specify something else. Let's see. Carousel control previous. href, we have to href to the ID. Carousel example control. So we need to specify href as the ID. That's the main difference. That's the main thing we got to do. Okay, inside this here, I'm gonna use anchor with class carousel control previous with href as our ID, carousel ID. Okay, that's our A tag, and it also takes role as button and data slide as previous. Let's specify them too. Role equal to button and data slide equals prev. And inside this anchor, we are gonna use a span with class carousel control previous icon class and one more span to specify the text as previous. This text class, oh, this is for screen readers only. For now I'm gonna not use that. And let's do the same thing for next. It's gonna be next. ID is same, but we got to put hash, which I forget all the time. Okay, role is button, data slide will be next, and this will be next icon. I think we are ready. Okay, there you go. We got buttons, which takes us to the previous and next. This is about carousel. Now let's talk about tooltips. Let's look for tooltips. Okay, before we get into tooltips rely on third-party library Popper. We have already included that, and also you must initialize them yourself. Yes, here we are gonna enable tooltips everywhere using this function. So after all the okay, first let me show what tooltip is. Here, as you can see, when you hover over this buttons, you can see the text tooltip on the bottom side and on the left. We can achieve this with a tooltip. Here we are using a normal button with data toggle as tooltip, and where we want the tooltip to be shown when we hover. If we want it on the top, we are gonna say data placement as top, and title will be tooltip on the top. Okay, let me show you. Let's do this on the bottom of the page. Let's do this here. I'm gonna create a button. FYI, after I create this button, the tooltip is not gonna work. We got to do something else. I'll tell you in a little while after creating the button and showing you. It's a normal button with button. Let's take primary for this. Data toggle will be tooltip, and data placement will be, let's see, the bottom. And also there is one more thing, data its title. Tooltip on bottom. The text will be look below. Let's say hover and look below. Okay, that's our button. Let's see if we got our button at the bottom. Okay, there's nothing. When we hover, there's nothing we can see. So for the tooltip to work, we need to add some script. This is the script we need to add inside our function. Script tag. Okay, for this I'm gonna say script. Why did it not end? Let me see if it is working. I did not get my alert. I think it's not alert. Okay, first let me copy this. it is working. Tooltip on bottom, can you see that? Okay, I think I need to change the placement for this button to show it to you clearly. Let's do it below Carousel. Tooltip on bottom, that is what we wanted, and we got it. How tooltips work. And next, let's jump into Bootstrap icons. Okay, for icons, we can use font awesome, feather, octagons, and there are also more which Bootstrap didn't try, but we can also try them. But for today's session, I'm gonna use font awesome, and for this, in font awesome website, I'm gonna use this CDN. I'm gonna copy this and paste it in my head, the head part. And how to use font awesome, it's pretty easy. After we link our CSS, what we can do is in the head, add icons. Let's find the right icon. Okay, let's go to the free icons, which are free. Which one should we use? Let's use the apple icon, and we are gonna say start using this icon and then copy this code here, and we can use it right away. Okay, let's use this before our tooltip. If I say fab apple, refresh our page, we got an apple icon here. It's very small. To make it large, let's see what we can do. Where is this apple icon? There should be something to make it large. Let's find out. Icons, solid, regular. I think that's not what we are looking for. We are looking for something like sizing. See in the docs if they have anything about sizing. This is for styling. Okay, sizing icons. Yes, I think we can use FA10X for the biggest. Can copy that and put it in our code, the class, and let's see. What's this? There you go. We got a bigger icon. We can size them, and that's how we can use our icons. We need to find the CDN for it and then use just easy to use, just this line of code. That's how we use our icons into our website. And here it says use a theme to change style of an entire site at once. Okay, this is gonna take a little more time, but let me show you. Get started. Let's go to theming here. To change the theme of a website, it's like, for example, you see the buttons here. We can change the color of these buttons, or it's like changing the default values that Bootstrap uses. To do that, we are gonna do this using SAS. For that, we are gonna use a package manager like npm. We are gonna install Bootstrap using npm, and then we are gonna create a css folder with our custom css, any css, and then we are gonna import the css from this folder, node modules folder, into our custom css, and then we are gonna compile this css into a css, and then we're gonna link that css into our project. Okay, let's see how we can do that. First we need to install Bootstrap using npm, and for this I'm gonna take away all Bootstrap links. Let me show you. Here I have Bootstrap. I'm gonna take away this. I'm gonna comment this, and also the script tags, all my script tags. I'm gonna comment them. Okay, now let me show you how the page looks like without any styling. It's not gonna look good. See, it's not gonna look good. Okay, now let's install npm. I'm gonna open the terminal. I'm gonna say npm init y flag, and then I'm gonna install Bootstrap using npm install Bootstrap. Okay, now we got our node modules folder. For our styling, now I'm gonna create a folder named css. Inside a css I'm gonna create file called main.scss. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I have to import the Bootstrap. To include all Bootstrap, we can copy and paste this line, or if we want only functions or only variables or only mixins, we can do that by importing individual items. So for now I'm gonna copy this, I'm gonna paste it in my main.scss. Okay, I have imported, and then what does it say? Okay, to change the defaults, like if I want to change the primary value, I can put this thing in my SAS file, and I can also remove anything like themes, like primary, danger, info. If I want to remove them, I can remove them using map remove. But for now I'm going to change only the primary value. I'm gonna do that and copy this. gonna paste it before my import because I want these changes to be happen. But I'm gonna change this value to something else like 049 maybe. Oh, it looks similar. Maybe 29, maybe 99. Yeah, now it looks a little different. And I'm gonna compile this to a CSS file. To do that, I'm gonna use command source, and my source will be css slash main.scss, and my output will be main.css. Okay, it compiled now and it created main.css, and this file has all the Bootstrap styling. It's a big file. Okay, now I'm going to link main.css into my HTML. The head right here, I'm gonna do it just like this. Style sheet, and the href is main.css. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'm excited. Wow, there you go. You can see all my links have changed color from blue to green, and I think this button uses btn info. Let me try to change info to in the SCSS I have to put info, theme info, and some color, like let's say yellow. And I also have to compile it. Something wrong? No, semicolon. Okay, now let's compile it again, and it is successful. And let's see, we got yellow buttons too. This is how we can change the themes in Bootstrap. That is for today. Thank you for watching. I think I have covered everything. So see you next time. Bye bye.